From Charleston County School Board member Todd Garrett's comments in the recent Charleston Chronicle newspaper to Mission Critical, I sat down exclusively with Charleston County School Board member Kevin Hollinshead for the special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And if you haven't already, download my free app in your Apple or Google Play stores and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Kevin Hollinshead, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Yes, it's been some time.
It has been, I guess, since my grandmother passed, so that was 4 months ago.
Yeah, might have been a little long, wasn't it?
Yeah, February, yes sir. There's a lot of things going on within the Charleston County School District. Obviously, you have the Mission Critical Follow, Buse Academy, Memory Elementary, North Charleston Creative Arts, Garrett Academy, Burke High School, Todd Garrett, the letter that says that you all can't speak.
We're on the plantation, man. You can't say with so much.
What can you say now?
The same thing I've been saying. You can't take the freedom of speech away from a board member, just like an elected official. So that's just like saying, you tell Sandy Sin she can't hold her community meetings. The delegation says she can't hold her community meetings in her district. So what they're trying to say is I can't hold community meetings. I mean, that's just crazy. I didn't pay any attention. Just as Todd Garrett made that racial comment in the Chronicle, which wasn't the first time. He did one about maybe back in February, which I wrote him a letter about. I'm about to disclose that as to his lackluster effort of how he deals with African American issues.
What issues should he be dealing with now in the African American community, particularly in his district, what we're sitting in right now?
Well, I have not heard, since the 2 years I've been there, have not heard anything positive from him in improving the schools in his district. He ridicules Burke like they're on a slave train. I guess he lives right down the street from Burke. He doesn't go and visit the staff. He doesn't try to figure out what they're doing positive. He just sits there and picks and picks and picks. And what really kind of disturbs me is that the other African American board members that sit on the board don't say a darn thing. They just allow him to do what he does. And then if I do something, and you know this for a fact, when I say something to the news media, they're out immediately doing damage control or trying to downplay what I said. He talked about black folks. He called them ignorant, cannot learn, and want to pull the plug. And the darn district ain't said a damn thing. Nothing. And I'm hearing through the rumor mill in the street, the Burke Foundation and others wrote letters and rebuked what he did. And I heard the principal wrote a letter, and the district told her she could not put it out.
Cheryl Swinton.
Yes.
Let me go to that because obviously, as you just mentioned, there was major pushback after what Todd Garrett said. He basically says that in the article in the Chronicle about the state of academic performance of the school, he says this quote, and to Channel 5, "My intent in reaching out to the editor of the Chronicle was to highlight to him, looking at the results we're getting from the kids." Can you talk to me about the results at Burke High School?
Well, I don't have my notes in front of me, but I understand he did not tell the truth as far as the production of students leaving Burke. I think it was like 40, 42, maybe 32 kids that actually went on to college. He's talking about college ready. That does not stop a child from going to college. As you know, since the early 30s and 40s, we have historical black colleges that make us ready to move on in life. We have junior colleges that you can go to that get you ready for life when you don't meet the SAT or ACT scores. I mean, what he said was preposterous. All he did was tell those people at Burke, you on my plantation down the street, and I'm going to show y'all what I want to do. He wants to turn that school over because that's what the battle is in the city of Charleston. And as he told the Buse parents, he don't care what happens to the African American plight in the city of Charleston. He's trying to take care of the people that's in the majority downtown right now. He controls the darn vote for Kate Darby, Chairman Mack and the superintendent. And so therefore, he told those abused parents that, and they got him on darn recording. Darn idiot. And the thing about it is, he sits there and changes their situation. I don't care what you do, my friend, black or white. When you bother somebody's child, all you do is stir up a hornet's nest. That's it.
What's left in that nest?
What's left in the nest? Well, I tell you what, you got some mad parents. You got mad advocates on Burke on one side, a tradition, a history that folks are wondering what's going on. African Americans have never told the white Americans that they could not share Burke. African Americans have never shut the door on any white child attending Burke. It has always been a situation where they don't want to come to a school that is ran by African Americans. That is the bottom line. So they try to use education as the issue. The College Ready program. Right. When I first got on the board, that was slotted for Burke. Reverend Mack and the superintendent moved it to Trident Tech because they did not want to give that extra margin of students to Burke High School. I'm just calling it like it is. We spent all this darn money on the Clemson study, on diversity. We spend the money, she spent all the money on Shared Future. And Shared Future didn't yield what she wanted. It was supposed to be a political arm for her. It did not end up being that way because those people thought for themselves. So she trashed that, and then she created Mission Critical to yield the results that she wanted.
What results have she gotten so far?
Well, let's be realistic about this. We have 9 failing schools. 9 schools that we have failed the students in. Now, this Mission Critical thing was supposed to talk about how to move the district forward. But what did they do? They want to close, or want to take Progressive Elementary, and then want to rework that and move them around. Wanda Sheets, the pillar of our community, has been doing a great job. She was trying to get the school ready for a Stephen Covey Award, and then you're going to try to shut down a school that is not failing? Mitchell Elementary, another school that was doing great. You want to try to rouse them up and shut them down and move them around? I mean, you do that to black folks. You do that to black folks because look what happened. She bothered abused people and they kicked up. We're not on no darn plantation. Like I tell her, and I can say it to her face, you keep playing with black folks understand what's going on. We understand that you can buy off certain black folks. We all understand that. Man, this is Charleston. You know what starts on one block will go around the circle and come back. Always. Always, Quintin. So, you're playing around with something that we sitting here watching back, I think it was in 2012. I don't have my paper in front of me. Okay. The district tried this before, and it did not work. And all she did was take a bunch of crayons and throw them around and scramble them around and said, we're going to try it again. Okay, we understand the footprint of Charleston is changing. It's not the majority of African Americans that are down here anymore. And I think when you look at it, the only ones that we're taking up for are the kids in the projects. So then who's supposed to speak up for them? It's just crazy.
Is this really a money issue or is it a race issue?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both, Quintin. A little bit of both. I have no bones in saying that she plays the race game. I've been here long enough to see it done, time in and time out. What most white folks do is I explain to the Buse family. They'll find a black person to sing what their tune what they want them to sing. She has 2 African American community leaders that are not really community leaders that she pulls their coattails, and one will go work secretly, and the other one will hold a meeting. And we're all onto it. We're onto it. We know one other board member that she's already infiltrated, and he done got quiet. You know, it's just amazing, man. And the funny thing about Todd Garrett, let me go back to that for a second.
Sure.
Reason why he borrowed abuse because there's 2 other kids that are going to West Ashley schools can get in abuse. So he's going to shake up abuse, and they changed the kindergarten admittance to expand the classroom in Buse, because we didn't take a vote on that. That was done between him and the superintendent, as he told the Buse people.
Is all of this unconstitutional?
I don't know about unconstitutional, but it smells stink. It smells stink.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
I'm just one, but I'm going to speak out.
Okay.
I'm going to continue to hold community meetings. You know, I may run for re-election, I may not. But you know what? If I did run and I lose, it's not going to change me. You're not going to do my people over like that. You're not going to do white people over like that. What is fair is fair. Now, I understand when I talk to the Buse parents,
Right.
I understand that they know they got a diversity issue. But you know what we also talked about? That I think it's 13 kids within District 20 can be admitted into their school. But you know what? The footprint downtown has changed. Even they realize that. That 13, if you change it to 30, it's not going to include African Americans downtown. All he's trying to do is make it wide or big enough so the other white families that live downtown can get into Buse.
Now, when it comes to diversity, how bad is it at Buse?
Well, this isn't started overnight. It's been an issue. But how you handle that issue by having meetings with the family and staff, because you know, and then work it out. You don't try to go by using someone else, some folks in Mission Critical to bring that issue out. Everything done by the Mission Critical team downtown, West Ashley, with her footprint.
Is it possible that these people who are running 75 Calhoun saying, hey, we don't need the community, we're going to do whatever we want to do, but despite what's going on?
They know that, but they had to have cover. That's why they used Mission Critical, because they knew those folks were going to come back. She had to have a diversion.
How soon are they coming back?
Well, they're going to try to bring it to a vote. You know, you got some board members who don't understand that the issue of abuse doesn't affect African Americans at all. All it is to make it for the Wagner Terrace and other groups downtown, families that moved into the city of Charleston, a place for their kids to go to because they don't want to go to school with black kids.
Well, who should go to school with Burke High School students?
Well, you know what? We as African Americans messed that up. Because, you know, some of us, when we got successful, we carried our children to other schools and did not realize the treasure that we had in Burke. We left what we call the folks of need to attend Burke. And then we left them defenseless. So Burke is going through a 5-year plan, which is in year 2, that we hadn't even began to see the yield, the fruits of the products from that. What the superintendent is trying to do is put it in a privatized system, which when we visited Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta did several things. They did several experiments. They can tell you right now, they did some of the schools in this privatized deal and it's not working. They're catching holy hell about that. But they also did the schools that the Innovator Academy there, the Hollis Innovator Academy, and the Coretta Scott King and the other school, the Best Academy, and they're working. And they're trying to slowly change their schools around. But the thing about it is they realized they made a mistake. Matter of fact, that private school situation was done in Charleston County years ago and did not work. Didn't work.
So what is this really about?
Time running out.
On whom?
On the superintendent. She's been there 4 years, going on 4 years, and actually probably be 5. And all she did was move a bunch of principals around, stir up a bunch of mess, do a bunch of paint on the ceiling to see what comes down. And then she turned around, and now she got to make another splash again. She took a principal from West Ashley High, school that wasn't failing, moved him because she couldn't stand him, couldn't stand his family. She wasn't going to stop till she got at him. They got him out of there. So she just constantly does things. She wears her personality on her sleeve. This ain't about kids, brother. This is not about kids. Children are at the heart. Come on, man. Not when you treat African Americans the way that they're being treated right now. Oh, okay, so we got 9 failing schools. We're not addressing that, but we're going to check these other black schools down there are doing good. like we're on the slave, we're on the plantation.
And while I have you here, let me talk to you about Prestige Presbyterian Academy. Is that going to rise from the dead?
I understand they're in a lawsuit. I understand they did an injunction. I hear it's going to be heard. I think they're getting their act together. Now, I don't know what's going to be the outcome of that. That's something I'm not too privileged to. I don't even think the board notified us about that.
Have they notified you about anything else?
Man, they don't notify us about only what they want to notify us about. This is not a board ran by as I tell you what, I tell the people, do your own research. Funny, the abused parents did their own research and they found out what I was telling them was not a lie. The board needs to be accountable. The board needs to be running things. The superintendent is in charge of education for the district, not in charge of politics for the district.
Wait a minute, who is running 75 Calhoun Street?
Superintendent.
Is that it?
Yeah, her and a few board members that she confides in, like Todd said, is him, Kate, and Reverend Mack.
Is this Charleston County School District too big for these people to actually handle every day?
I don't know. I heard Mayor Summy reached out a couple of weeks back and said he's thinking about deconsolidation. It's getting on his nerve too. We just, North Charleston takes a back seat to everything that we do. We have, 55% African American population in North Charleston.
Right.
We have 3 board members, and then we don't give the attention to the needs of African Americans in North Charleston like we're supposed to.
What are those needs they need now?
Well, for example, like to see a single gender school from 6 to 12 in North Charleston that addresses the refining, the retooling of African Americans and making them successful. Brother, let me tell you this. The deliberative tactics with Burke and other schools in the area, I'm going to ask you this question. In Atlanta, Georgia, their SAT scores, the worst is 1550. In Charleston County, it's like 1340 or something like that. But yet, they're taking kids that are less fortunate and they're yielding a successful product now after they made mistakes. So you tell me black folks in Charleston can't learn?
And as always, Dr. Postway is always welcome on Quintin's close-ups to discuss her, what's going on in the school district as well.
Man, we tried to get her to come to our public meetings to be straight up with folks, and she dodges like a doggone bullet.
And you talk about those meetings. Let me get around to the constituent school boards. What is their future in your mind?
You know what? We got. That was a situation created back in the 60s and so forth. But what they yield today is then, instead of us, like in Greenville, having attorneys doing expungement hearings and stuff, they yield that right now. So if we were to get rid of them and switch over to like what Greenville them have, the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to drive up another expense. So we need to treat them with some respect and give them training to do their job.
When you look at this budget for the Charleston County School District, if you could, what could you take out and what would you put in for these students?
I would downsize 75 Calhoun Street and put the money in the classroom. 2 teachers per class, especially in the critical areas of the schools that are not making it. More content hours. You cannot do traditionally what we've been doing as what we learned in Atlanta to bring about success. Sometimes you can't teach an old dog new trick up there on 75 Calhoun Street. So the thing about it is we need to figure out a way that someone that wants to get down there and roll their sleeves up and show those kids love. Show them react by love. When they know you love them, when parents know you love them, they'll come out in arms for you. But you just can't keep buying black folks, certain black folks, and think they're going to speak for you. We know that game. We know that game. Charleston, man, we've done seen this time in and time out.
How tired are you? With everything.
I'm still here, brother, and I'm going to be here until God tells me to stop. I'm here. I serve both white and black. My arms are open just like I listened to the abused parents and their concerns. I told them what the African American concerns were, and I was very, very honest with them. The only thing you can do, bro, is be honest with people. That's all you you can do. The Burke family, I'm very honest with them. I just don't think that you need to throw them around. Just like Progressive and mentioned, just can't throw black folks around. We gave them, James Simmons, and they turned to a Montessori school, and they filled it with white folks down there, and I hear they're leaving. And I heard the school's not doing that great. And then she wants to create another Montessori school downtown. And I understand from what I'm hearing now, and they've been showing me, it takes a lot of training to run a Montessori school. It just, you can't just do it just like you do any old school. And it's not for every kid. Like again, throwing that paint in the ceiling and seeing what comes down. That's their theory.
How much paint do they have left?
Well, shit, they must have stock in Philip Paint Company.
Kevin Hollinshead, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Good to see you.
You too. And a disclaimer, Dr. Postwaite again is welcome on Quintin's Close-Ups at any time. And I have requested to speak with her, so we hope to have her on soon.
Don't wait on Jesus now. That's a long time waiting on Jesus to come back. That ain't gonna happen, bro.
Thank you.
People in hell want ice water.